So today we're going to be rebuilding a 2017 KTM 85 SX, and we're going to be rebuilding the top and bottom end. And so KTM has a special bearing right here that has this that attaches to the crank. So what we're going to do to attach to the crank, the easiest way is we heat it up. Just turn on this propane. Try not to blow anything up, burn your house down. So you just start heating it up until you think it's hot enough, and it just slide right onto there.
6.5 hours later.
So when you think it's ready, all you gotta do, have this. And it slides on like that. So what we're doing is we're heating up the socket to put into, alright, let's put it in actually.
Into the bearing.
Into the bearing right here. And so what it's gonna do is the heat's gonna expand this bearing right here.
That makes you go up and down in an up and down motion. Oh.
So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab this,
Your crankshaft.
just gonna slide it right in.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna put the transmission in. Transmission forks. This one goes to this area, and this one right here goes above it. And you don't want to get these mixed up. This one is the smaller one that goes to this transmission right here. And so now let's put them on. Should just slide right on. Just like that. Now we're gonna put the shifter knob, or whatever you guys call it. Spec these all up. So now we're gonna put these parts in. KTM has these little springs apart on them. And they usually just fall off when you're pushing them in. Should do it fast. Let's see how it springs up. These ones, they usually fall off when you're putting them in. But let's see. And then boom, springs right up. That's how you do the transmission.
Oh yeah.
This side of the engine done. Flywheel's in. One part that I forgot to record is right here. Inside here, before you put this in, there's a seal that looks just like this seal. So you got to put that seal in, and then you put that spacer, and then you put the rest of this on. And yeah, then you should be good. And then this side will be completely done. Alright, so now we're going to be starting to work on this side, where the clutch and everything else is. And so here we have one little seal, or O-ring, people like to call it. You just put it onto there, grab this, just slide it onto there. Moonstar key, we're going to put it into this area. And I'll be right back when I have everything done. So we're going to put the Kickstarter in. This little bolt. So you're gonna want to watch out. Don't forget to put the seal in the spacer right here. Goes onto here. So this part right here goes into here. And this part will be hitting the wall. So now we're going to put this gear. There's a spacer in there. another spacer above here. And we have this. Now we're gonna put this. There's a little spacer here, so don't lose that. This part is gonna be hitting the wall. You wanna grab this. You wanna line this up with the holes. That hole. And just drop it. You want to put this tiny little bolt right in there. Screw that in. And now there's just tiny little spacer that goes into here. Alright, so this is everything you need for the clutch. There's two washers, they're different sizes. This washer right here goes between the inner and the outer clutch. And this washer goes under this bushing bearing. Okay, so we're going to put that washer right there. Then we have a bushing. One goes in more. You want to put that way, facing in. Then you have two needle bearings. Just put them right there. Then you want to grab the outer clutch basket. Slide it right on. Just like that. And you want to grab the other washer. Put it right there. Then you want to grab the inner clutch basket. You don't have to do it with all the plates and all that. I just find it more easier. Just want to snuggle it on. Just like that. Just like that. And then you're going to want to put this right onto there. You want to put some Loctite and then this. I'll be right back when I do that. Right there. After it's all the way done tightening, you want to just hit these up, and so that if it does ever get loose, this will prevent it from coming off. Okay, after you get that bolt on and push those in, you don't want to put these in because it will just fall out the engine from the clutch side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in. So when I'm going to put these in from the other side, you want to put the ball first and then the rod. Now you're just going to put this right on. Alright, so now we're going to put the gasket on. Just line it up with these dowel pins. And then you're just going to want to grab the case, slide it right on. You just want to line the gasket up and slap this cover on. This way. We have the clutch cover on, everything complete. We can start on the top end, or we're going to do some rags down here. So when we're putting the piston in, the clip doesn't fall down there and give us a huge headache. Here's it cranking over slowly. Works perfectly fine. Alright, so we got the piston installed and we put the gasket on. Now we're just going to put the top end. We lubed up the cylinder with transmission oil, or you can just use the oil that you mix the gas with. Doesn't really matter. So make sure when you're putting in, you get that clip aligned to that, and make sure the piston, the arrow is pointing the correct way towards the exhaust port. So now let's put the cylinder on. Okay, now that we have the cylinder and the head bolted on, we're going to start on the power valve. So this is the stuff you're going to need. So first off, you want to start with this piece. This little niche right there. It's going to go right onto here. And then you're going to grab this little tiny bolt. Just put it right onto there. Tighten it after. So now what you're going to do is grab this. You're going to want to put this on. Put that right there. You want to grab this. And then just tighten them. So now we're going to put the Kickstarter and the shifter on. Now we're going to put the shifter. There's these washers. And the shifter. You can put Loctite on this if you want, so it doesn't loosen up. I'm just going to hand tighten it, and then that's it. The bike fully done, bottom and top, new crank, new piston, new bearings for the crank. And all you want to do is put this ball and this rod into this hydraulic clutch area. And when you put the engine back in the bike, you're going to want to bolt it down. These 3 bolts that go right here. And yeah, and we're actually doing a carb rebuild as well. These needles are all good. Right here you can see the gasket for this actually ripped, so I had to get a new one for that. Just waiting for that to come in. Other than that, everything's good. I'll get this carb all cleaned up, looking brand new. So yeah,